From the pit to the boxing ring, and then to prison, tough guy Paul Sykes has graduated with honors from the School of Hard Knocks. Meet the man who has no understanding of fear. For much of the 70s, the moustachioed, 6'3", 15 and a half-stone Yorkshireman's resting pulse rate was below 40 beats per minute, making him the equal of Bjorn Borg. He could squat with over 500 pounds on his shoulders, represented England at every amateur boxing level, beat the Olympic light heavyweight champion, and sparred with world professional heavyweight champions Joe Frazier, Leon Spinks, and George Foreman. For a while, Sykes seemed unstoppable. Such was his ferocious punching power that, in 1978, he put first an American and then an African, who was the tallest and heaviest boxer in the world at the time, into comas. The following year, in only his 9th professional fight, Sykes challenged John L. Gardner for the British and Commonwealth heavyweight title. Everybody expected Sykes to destroy his opponent. His manager, the brother of Northern Club comedian Mick Miller, was so sure of victory he had 1,000 leaflets printed up. Paul Sykes, Britain's #1 prospect for the world title, they said. But in the 6th round of the toe-to-toe, center-of-the-ring slugfest, Sykes suddenly turned away from Gardner, took a sucker punch and lost on a technical knockout. Some said he was defeated because he'd lost too much weight in the run-up to the bout. He clocked in at a stone less than usual and appeared jaded from the start. Others said he'd lost heart after the hospitalizations of his 2 previous opponents. Still more cited a shot knee ligament and a frayed elbow tendon. Sykes, however, has his own explanations. Bizarrely, he claims he was hampered by his doctor, insisting he was given an injection of some stimulant an hour before the bout, as well as being made to ingest a mystery liquid that tasted of sweet piss. He also insists that when he turned away from Gardner, it wasn't because of fear or pain. He was actually bellowing, "Fucking shut up," to his cornermen, who were filling his head with confusing advice. But maybe his fall really came about because, despite only just having turned pro, Sykes was nearly 33 years old and had spent all but a tiny part of his adult life in prison. The papers called him a lout. He'd wounded with intent, robbed with violence, committed ABH and GBH and had, as he puts it, twat plenty of screws and coppers. He was soon back inside after the Gardner fight, too, sentenced to 5 years for intimidating a union official for a contract of £1,000. Another 5 years were added to that after he hit a policeman and put a pair of prison PT instructors into the infirmary. But after all this and more, the governor of Hull Prison was still willing to state, he's very bright. He's probably brighter than most of us who've locked him up. Sykes didn't return the compliment. Screws handed in their brains at birth, he announced in December 1990 in a First Tuesday documentary, Paul Sykes at Large. If you relied on any prison officer's mentality, we wouldn't have discovered the Isle of Man yet. Paul Sykes at Large has become something of a classic. The television documentary followed Sykes as he left prison. The drunken, strong-armed antics it contained soon earned him the title, Britain's Hardest Man, yet it also showed him putting the finishing touches to Sweet Agony, a novel covering the 2 years leading up to the Gardner fight.